Did you know Typical Gamer, Tfue, Laserbeam, and a bunch of other streamers have been banned by Fortnite in the past? Today, I'm going to be going over 10 streamers and their stories about how they once got banned. We have Tfue, and what newer Fortnite players might not know is at one point he had 2 different accounts permanently banned. That's right, in 2018, the Fortnite community was shocked to find out that Epic actually banned both of Tfue's accounts. People thought it was because Tfue was exploiting, but that wasn't the reason. He actually made a video explaining what actually happened. Tfue had spent a lot of money on obtaining a new account that had a bunch of OG skins like Renegade Raider, Skull Trooper, and skins that he didn't have on his other account. So as you guys know, buying an account in Fortnite is against the terms of service. Thankfully, he was able to start a new account called Not Tfue after the ban, and he did end up not buying any skins on this new account. And for a very long time, he was the default god, just like leading the default army. Moral of the story, don't buy Fortnite accounts. It's not worth it. Next up, we have a competitor named Quid. He was a pro Fortnite streamer from Australia who had some decent earnings and placements, including 5th in the World Cup qualifier week. In Chapter 2, Season 2, Quid was playing a tournament when he got banned in the middle of a match. Everyone didn't know what was happening, including his teammates. He made a tweet saying that he didn't know what was going on until people started looking into his games and noticed his aim was pretty good. Maybe a little too good, but not better than my aim right now. I mean, sheesh. I mean, okay. There was a lot of back and forth within the community, and eventually DMs between him and somebody who actually sold him the hacks were leaked and found on his desktop. Epic has kept a permanent ban and has never made an official statement on him, but it's safe to say that he was using some sort of illegal software to improve his aim. Speaking of tournaments, there was a situation with some pro players, Lucky, Creo, Keys, and Slacks. These were 4 top tier 1 players, and they are playing in a 2v2 tournament. And no one really noticed much until the FNCS week 1, where people were able to look at the tournament replays and noticed a very weird pattern among these 2 teams. Once the teams finished looting on each side of Slurpee Swamp, they'd meet up kind of near Slurpee and they would start fighting each other and exchange some shots, but never truly committing to the fights or knocking each other. They were basically just trading hits and then going back into Slurpee to gain back the shields that they lost so that they don't go into their shield supply. Storm Surge is a tournament mechanic that kills off players who don't do enough damage, so this was kind of a little bit of a workaround. Once the community noticed, players started talking about it, and Epic actually gave them a 60-day competitive ban, which I feel like was a pretty fair punishment, all things considered. And ever since then, we haven't really seen a situation where players are trading damage. This was a very valuable learning lesson for the entire community. Next up, we have Xenon, who at the time was a 9-year-old Fortnite player who streamed with his dad, and he was extremely good at Fortnite, especially for his age, and he started picking up a following on his stream when he one day decided to play Arena, and he found out he was banned for 1,400 days. Pretty much enough days to where he'll be 13 by the time he's unbanned. If you didn't know, you can't play in Arena or any tournaments until you're 13 years old. The community showed their support for him, and he just wanted to play Arena. He wasn't planning to play in the tournaments, even though he can't earn money in the tournaments yet. Streamers and players used the hashtag FreeXenon, and it caught Epic's attention, who unbanned him from Arena the next day. So still free to play Arena in normal matches. He just can't compete in the competitive tournaments because he is too young. Next up is Zacupus. Only super OGs might remember this guy. He was a Fortnite streamer back when the game first started in 2017, and he was known for always gaming with a suit on. So this was so early, he might actually be the first person to be banned in a tournament. In one of the first ever DreamHack Fortnite tournaments in December of 2017, Zacupus had a friend who was also competing in the same tournament together, and during a solo match, he ran into him and was about to shoot him, but he quickly recognized that it was his friend's skin and decided not to take the fight. This is very OG, so not much footage is even out there of this going down. Epic actually identified this as teaming, and they talked it over, and they banned him from the tournament later in the match. But it kind of makes sense. You can't avoid shooting somebody just because you find out it's your friend. Next up, we have Serpent AU. He was a YouTuber who became known as one of the fastest editors in the world. He posted insane montages, getting millions of views, flexing his edits ridiculously fast. They were almost too fast to believe. And eventually, another YouTuber named EJ Ladd made an exposed video on Serpent, accusing him of using macros to edit faster than humanly possible. A macro, for those who don't know, is basically some sort of software to set up on your keyboard or mouse and in a sequence to like execute perfect edits without ever making a mistake. Serpent actually denied these claims. He made a response video saying that he never did this until EJ Lad actually came back in with proof of him using macros and more evidence following up that completely destroyed his innocent case. He was known from then on as a cheater and then tweeted out that his account was banned. As you guys can see, cheating or using anything to get an advantage might help you initially, but eventually everyone gets caught and the punishment is severe. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on the new collection at Metal Umbrella. This is my clothing brand and we just dropped a new collection. Go to metalumbrella.com, check it out. If you get anything, let me know. It might be featured somewhere on the screen. Now let's talk about the rest of the banned players. Okay, next up, a lot of you might not know about this one, but Nate Hill and Funk Bomb at one point were banned, and these guys are pretty stand-up guys who play by the rules. They're very respected within the community. But what happened during the fall skirmish of 2018, Nate and Funk were easily one of the best duos in the entire world at the time, and during one of the games, Funk Bomb died early, and back then there was no reboot. So Funk Bomb decided he still wanted to help Nate even though he was out of the game, and he pulled up the broadcast of the fall skirmish and started giving information to Nate, information that Nate wouldn't know if Funk wasn't watching the stream.
Like Southwest, he's 30 health. I feel like this is cheating, but...
And Funk even said out loud, I feel like this is cheating, and he wasn't wrong. Funk was actually banned from that tournament, and Nate was given a lesser sentence, being disqualified from that week of the event. And ever since then, Epic has had a longer delay on their tournament streams to prevent situations like this from happening. Next up, we have the story of Alex Rami Gaming. He's a super OG Fortnite streamer back in 2017. He actually recently came back. I saw him on the leaderboards for some zero build events. He was grinding. He had the #1 wins in the entire world back then. And the leaderboard meant a lot back then. If you had the most wins, people were tuning into your stream to watch you play. I was actually in the top 5 for most solo wins. And at one point, I had the most solo wins and solo kills in the world. And a lot of people came to my stream because of that. Now, Alex was really good at getting wins, but unfortunately, he wasn't the best teammate. If you didn't know, back in early Fortnite, you could actually team kill in duos or squad. You could damage your own members with your own weapons. So while in random squad games, he unfortunately started killing off a lot of his squads a little too much in a way that was not accidental. So Epic decided to take a stand on this and ban him. But of course, you can't ruin the experience of other players. It was definitely justified, but it wasn't permanent. Now, this one's going to surprise you guys because it's typical gamer, a super stand-up content creator, really nice guy, very positive. You know, he rages a bit, especially if he's losing to me in a challenge. He's always having a good time getting some dubs, but he actually got struck by that ban hammer before. It wasn't really his fault though. During one of his live streams, he was getting stream sniped a lot. So he just ended up driving around in a truck and his stream snipers followed him instead of trying to kill him, and he ignored them and fueled up his truck. Unfortunately though, Epic's automatic like teaming system kicked in because he wasn't fighting the stream snipers and they weren't fighting him, so it automatically detected as him teaming, and he was struck by the ban hammer and kicked out of that game. Thankfully, he didn't lose access to his account, but it was literally just because he was ignoring stream snipers and he accidentally got caught in Epic's automatic system to prevent teaming. Now, of course, at the #1 spot, we have the most famous ban in Fortnite history, C-Day. It's actually why C-Day is not uploading videos anymore. He's been permanently banned for using aim assist. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this one's actually Jarvis. Jarvis is actually extremely cracked at Fortnite, and he was potentially going to qualify for the World Cup. Super talented controller player. Someone came up with the idea that he should download cheats and try them for a video. He ended up trying them in creative, but then he actually used them in a real game against other players. To this day, I don't know how anybody around him didn't stop him from doing this or tell him that it's a bad idea. Epic decided to permanently ban Jarvis, and that was a few years ago. He's not getting unbanned. So when you're out there, play fair, and you won't end up on this list of players who were banned in Fortnite.